Alright, welcome to the final episode of the Ale Association quests. I have only 4 quests left to do that I was not able to do when I originally recorded this series back in the Fall Festival of 2016, so I'm going to be doing them now. Now, I did have some problems. I've recorded this twice already, and miraculously, the recording screwed up both times. I don't know what happened. And sometimes I feel like I'm really unlucky with things screwing up. But all things considered, I think I'm actually really lucky because whenever things screw up, when I'm recording Lord of the Rings Online, it tends to screw up, thankfully, on episodes that I can go back and re-record. So if this was a regular episode with one-time quests, I'd be kind of screwed. Thankfully, I can just repeat these. So because I've already done this twice, I'm actually already kindred with these guys. So let me go ahead and just do the final few quests here. And then we will do the reputation house, which is actually right in here. So let me speak with this guy. So in the previous episode I did a majority of these, but there were 4 of them that I was not able to do, including number 1, not Atli's favorite.
I would be grateful for your assistance.
I've received a different sort of orders from J.R.R, the head of this here society. He hates the in-league so much that he has assigned me a rather different task than my in-league neighbors there. Shh, he mustn't hear us. Atli harbors a preference for the Beakbreaker Ale of the Colemanwaddle Inn that is not even dwarf made. His cousin Oli wishes to sample it on Atli's recommendation, but we will make sure that he does not consider Atli's preference to be sound. Instead of Beakbreaker, we will be delivering a wine from the Shire itself. 1404 Vintage Reserve is a fine wine from the Green Dragon to be sure, and a good clear one, but it is disgusting as an ale. It will be highly offensive to Ollie's palate. So next up, the other quest I was not able to do was a bit of white.
Greetings, traveler. Will you stay a moment?
This first paragraph is the same, so I'm not going to keep repeating it. I heard my friend from the in-league there mention a foolish fellow named Harrigan Mudbottom stuck in a pickle up in Oatbarton. He wishes to drink Blackgrove's Brown because he has not yet completed the in-league challenge. I can think of something even better. A drink of a different color will serve to amuse us. White Branch from the Ivy Bush in Hobbiton. If you bring that to Haringar, he will continue his boasting, but everyone will know that he has never sampled Blackgrove Brown. They are as different as apples and potatoes. Alright, next up there is a dark prank, which I was not able to complete.
Welcome. You've come at a most fortuitous time.
One of my poor traitorous fellow dwarves is in a faraway land in Forkill, the frozen Northlands. He is at a dwarf keep called Ziggelgund, and is a zealous member of the in-league. He spurns the Ale Association. I do not want him to infect other dwarves with this folly, so we shall play a little trick on him. He wishes to complete the challenge by drinking the Mordor beer from the Prancing Pony, but that is not what he'll get, oh no. We'll be delivering him Toad's Tongue Ale. I wonder if he'll be able to tell the difference between a boar and a toad at the moment of truth. Finally, the 4th quest I was not able to do was a drink of the best character.
I would be grateful for your assistance.
We have received word that Nethalon, a fellow up visiting Angmar, has requested some swill from the Forsaken Inn. Instead of swill, though, I want you to bring him mead, plain old mead. Specifically, that from the Plough and Stars in Brockenborings. This should be a fine trick. He will be expecting something wretched, and instead, he will be all confounded thanks to you. So you may notice a few things here. I did put all these travel skills here on the right. These are all my muster skills as a warden, and then some return to skills that I was able to obtain. I did spend some turbine points getting more milestone locations in preparation for Moria, and I spent some turbine points as well decreasing the time for the cooldown from 1 hour to 5 minutes. So I'll be much more efficient traveling around the map now, and I'm thankful for that. So let's go ahead and begin by let's go to Hobbiton, and then we can start picking up some of these brews. You'll also notice some changes down here that I made. So since I have all my inventory in one bag, these other bags here were kind of useless. So there was no point in keeping them in my menu bar. I was trying to make things a little bit more efficient, and I think I've accomplished that. So you can see that I've got my kinship panel, mounts, mail, destiny points, and my legendary item panel all in one good place. But let's pick up a brew here at the Ivy Bush Inn.
How do you do?
White branch, you say? One moment. I shall have it ready directly. Alright, so I've picked up the first brew. Now, all this changes to my setup here is in preparation for Moria and my new computer. And I think what I'm going to do for the next season, because as soon as I finish this episode, I'm actually going to start setting up my new computer. I might play around with some plugins for the Lord of the Rings Online. My main goal with plugins is to find something that will make me a little bit more efficient as a warden, and also something that declutters the screen a little bit so it's a little bit nicer to watch the series. So I'm going to play around with some of those and get those set up on my new computer. And of course it's really laggy here because we got the Farmer's Fair going on. So let's stop by the Green Dragon first of all.
It's been a foul day, it has.
Welcome to the Green Dragon, my dear hobbit. Count yourself lucky to be tasting the finest wine in all the Shire. It will cheer you on your travels. Excellent. Next up, I am headed to the floating log in Frogmorton. So let me head off that way. Thankfully, all these 4 quests that I was not able to do previously, they're all here in the Shire, so it's actually pretty convenient. I can just go from inn to inn, picking up everything, and then I can travel to the appropriate locations to deliver these. And again, I do apologize that you kind of had to see some episodes from the past, but I didn't want to travel to the Misty Mountains and Forkill and Evendim and Angmar when I hadn't even been there yet. So here we are at the floating log.
A lovely day, isn't it?
One Toad's Tongue Ale coming up. This is a local favorite, but no one from outside Frogmorton ever seems particularly keen to order this. I cannot imagine why. I like this inn. It's nice and cozy. Pretty small, but it is cozy. And I like this place here, the Frogmorton. Haven't been here in a while. There's really not much here, but it's a cool place. It kind of reminds me of New Orleans a little bit. Bayou and all that good stuff. Next up, let me head to Brocken Borings so I can pick up the final ale from the Plough and Stars Inn. It's always nice going by the Shire and just riding around. And let's see what sort of stuff I'm getting here. Blago. Blago says hi. I have no idea who Blago is. It's a level 78 burglar. And it appears he's in my kinship. I'm gonna ignore him for now. And I'll kind of address him once I finish recording this episode. Don't like to get into all that while I'm recording for you guys. This may end up being a little bit of a shorter episode since there's only these 4 quests. But this should be the final one before Moria. I think the next episode we're gonna head in there, finally. Alright, so here we are at the Plough and Stars.
Good day.
It is mead you want? Well, you have come to the right place for mead. We have a fine mead right here. Alright. And it is going to be disguised as swill. Excellent. So conveniently, there is a stable here that I can take a swift travel pony directly to Oatbarton to deliver the first of these drinks.
Is there something I can do for you?
And then I can start working on delivering some of the other ones. So here's the first victim. Mr. Harriger Mudbottom.
Is there something I can do for you?
Is that the Black Grove's brown? Give it here. I will drink it right now and then boast to all of its delightful taste, for I have heard wonderful things about it. Harriger takes a long drink and lowers the mug at last. That was surprisingly light, clear and crisp with a snap like a twig underfoot. What a bright flavor. Black Grove's brown is a deceptive name, don't you think? I cannot wait to review it with my other in-league friends. Alright, perfect. Yeah, my legendary weapons are leveling up. So next up, I can head to the Misty Mountains. I have a muster here, and I did not purchase this muster on screen. I did it when I was recording this episode, one of the recordings that I lost, unfortunately. So I'll show you exactly where I got that. It is a warden skill that is available to me. So it takes you right here to Rimbarg, and you can actually get this right here. If you're acquaintance with the Elves of Rivendell and you're a warden, you can purchase this muster skill from one of the dwarves right in here.
Well met.
Is this the very Beakbreaker ale recommended by my cousin Otley? I can scarcely believe my eyes. Let me taste that. Only takes a long drink from the wine flask. Plop, 2. That is the sweetest ale I've ever tasted. It's barely fit to be called an ale. They should really warn folk before giving that stuff. I had no idea Otley was so foolish about his taste in beer. I do not think men quite know how to correctly brew beers. I believe I will stick with the dwarf beer from now on. Alright, so that is that. Next up, I could go to Surikila. So let's do that, and then I can take a swift travel to Ziggelgund. It's so nice having these travel skills. Makes life really easy.
You are a stranger to the Lumiveki.
So yeah, these are the final 2 quests for the Ale Association. Between the previous 4 episodes and this one, I'll have shown you all the quests that you can do for the Ale Association. The only thing to keep in mind is that special quest that is only active during the Fall Festival that I showed you. I think it was in the first episode of this Ale Association series, right by the Haunted Burrow. That's the only thing to keep in mind. Otherwise, there's no hidden secret quest or anything like that. Alright, next victim here.
Woe betide me.
What have we here? I am very excited. I can toast with my good brother at last, and will complete the in-league challenge once and for all. Luffy drinks deep of the toad's tongue ale, and his nose wrinkles a bit when he lowers his mug. That was not what I expected at all. It was a little slimier and less furry than I expected, if you know what I mean. I thought boar-inspired beer would put some hair on my beard, but instead, I do not know what to make of that. Alright, excellent. Next up, I am headed to Oghair, and I can use my return to Gath Fortnir and take a pony from there. Alright, so let me get out of here. A little laggy as things load up here, but hopefully that's the last time that I have to experience this, since I'm going to be setting up the new computer.
What do you need?
It's going to be sweet. It's going to be pretty cool. Finally got some solid straight state drives on that thing, and I set them up on a RAID 0 configuration so that it's even faster than just having a regular solid state drive. With the RAID 0 configuration, you actually have 2 drives and the data gets split between the 2. So instead of having to load everything from one drive, things get loaded from 2 of them at the same time simultaneously, so theoretically it cuts loading times from the hard drive in half. It is a little bit more problematic as far as data recovery is concerned though, because if only one of those drive crashes, I'll lose data on both of them pretty much, so it's a little bit riskier, but it's probably worth the speed. Plus I will use separate hard drives to make backups and everything like that. Alright, so here's the final gentleman. He's got a pretty mean mustache and a pretty mean mug of ale.
How can I be of service?
You have brought me swill. I'll finally be done. Let me take a look. Oh my gracious, that is absolutely disgusting. I can smell it from here. Nathalon takes a long swig of the mead, grimacing the entire time. Foul. Despicable. He holds up to the rumors. That aftertaste isn't so bad. I don't suppose you brought another? Alright. So those were the final few quests. I think the only thing left to do is to head back to Thorin's Hall and show you what Kindred gets you. Like, I've heard the swill was the most vile in all of the drinks of Middle-earth. It's strange that I rather liked it, says Nephilim. Alright, so let's take a look at things here. I like this little shortcut to the inn that you can take. It's very convenient. Alright, so once you start getting reputation with these guys, first of all, you can talk with this guy as soon as you're acquaintance, and you can trade a few things. You can get festival tokens for some of these badges of dishonor. You can get the stink bombs, and once you're acquaintance, you can also head into the Ale Association Hall here, which is a really cool area. Take a look at this place. It's really sweet. It's got these Ale Association banners here. And it's a very large hall with just kegs of ale stacked all the way up to the ceiling. I really think it's a cool area. Lots of dwarves just hanging out. That guy's obviously drunk. Look at him. That guy's awesome. He is having a good time. That is one dwarf who knows how to have fun. Got some pretty cool statues back there. He just passed out cold. That's funny. And that guy's having a blast as well. That guy's hanging out. Some really cool dwarves here. All these gears and mechanisms. That guy's pissed at something. I don't know what he's upset about. There's this guy who's having the most fun of them all. Just dancing on the table. Pretty sweet beard on that guy. And I like this the best. Just all these casks of ale all the way up. And then all these dwarves that are just passed out. I like the noises that they make too. It's pretty funny. That's so funny. I just love the noises and these guys just splashing beer everywhere. Anyways, so you need to be acquaintance to get in here, but once you are Kindred, you can actually speak with this guy.
I am at your service.
And there are cosmetic items you can get. Some of them are pretty cool. Some of the housing items are cool. Some of the cloaks are not bad either. These are pretty cool. And I think this Defiled In-League statue that you can get is actually this one right here. But what you're really interested in is the prized Ale Association goat. I already got it when I recorded this episode and lost that due to a corruption in the file. So I'm not going to be repurchasing it obviously, but I already have it. So let me step outside and show you guys what that's all about. So let me actually head back to Eregion, since that's where I'm headed for the next episode, so I can go past the doors of Durin. And then I'll show you this goat real quick. It's actually a pretty cool one. So I may be using him during Moria. I have a few goats that I can use. I think I have 3 different ones. I think I have the treasure-laden goat from the treasure hunting event. I have the Thorin's Hall reputation, and now this one. So let me pull up my mounts panel, which I put over here. And let's see, reputation mounts, prized Ale Association goat. And if you take a look at it, it's a really cool looking goat. I like the color scheme. I like that you have some flasks of ale here on him. So overall, I think he's a pretty sweet goat. So that's actually going to do it for the Ale Association. And next time a festival runs around, I may begin doing some of the reputation with the In-League. So I hope you enjoyed. Again, I apologize for the confusion having to go back in time for some of those episodes. But I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.